Do you love porn? Maybe you hate it a little bit too? Well, you're not alone. Studies show that over 70% of people report that they consume porn, and more than 50% of those people say they feel guilty about it. So, for many people, there's a love hate relationship when it comes to pornography. Perhaps you find yourself among those people. If you do, I want you to know there's another way that you can feel about porn. And what if you did feel another way? What would that bring into your life? I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. Let's discuss it together. So, first and foremost, porn is highly addictive. So, this love hate relationship of porn, it actually comes from neurological underpinnings. When you were young and you found porn, it made your brain feel good. And in making your brain feel good, what it did was change your baseline levels for needing dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of more, motivation, and pleasure. So essentially, it motivates you back for more pleasure from where you found it. So when it comes to porn, it's so easy these days. With the click of a button, you can find yourself in fantasy, unreality, honestly, any unreality that you want. But the problem with that is that, first of all, you don't have to work for the dopamine like you would if you were in a relationship with someone and courting them towards a healthy sexual relationship. In this way, you hit the easy button and your brain is flooded with dopamine. And in doing so, your brain becomes linked to what you're watching. And when that happens, the lines of distinction between fantasy or unreality and reality can become blurred because of the dopamine drowning in your brain. So, what does that mean? It means that it then can impact your perception on your sexual experience in the real world, on your view of yourself sexually, and unfortunately, how you view your partner also. So we know from science, it makes it so that now you may see a sexual experience as a sexual performance because you're used to watching performers perform acts and it's linked to high levels of dopamine for you. You may also then compare yourself to those performers and compare your partner to those performers also. And honestly, you can't live up to the performers in porn, nor should you want to. But when you consume porn so much, it blurs the lines. And now that fantasy or unreality is something that you want in your own life. So we know that these damaging benchmarks in your own sexual life and experience can have a toll on your relationship. We know, scientifically speaking, that relationship dissatisfaction goes up significantly when porn is in the mix. Not only that, it contributes to sexual arousal dysfunction, what I call SAD. So, porn makes you sad. It contributes to your erectile dysfunction, it contributes to your delayed ejaculation, especially, and sometimes premature ejaculation. So now it's time to have a sexual experience in the real world with your partner. And not only is the view distorted, but you also cannot perform. Have you wondered why that's the case? Well, porn induced erectile dysfunction is real. It's very real. For so many men who have had a porn habit and thought it was harmless, what ends up happening is now it's time to be with your partner and you really want to, but you can't perform. That comes from the dopamine drowning in your brain, from the very high levels of dopamine from your porn habit. So, if you consume porn frequently, consistently, and especially at high levels of intensity, you're flooding your brain with dopamine, and now you need very high level stimulation to be able to perform with your partner. I think this story from one of my clients, we'll call him Jim, really portrays what's happening in so many people's lives. So, Jim had a porn habit for a really long time. He didn't know that it was a problem. He considered it just part of his sex life, being sexual by himself. He would use porn to offload stress, kind of escape and feel good, feel pleasure for a while. But then what he noticed was in the bedroom with his partner, he wanted to perform the acts that he had been watching frequently in porn. So he started to try to do them. Then he was upset with his partner when she did not want to do those things. It put a big strain on his relationship. And then he finally realized he was trying to enact the things he had been viewing. From my perspective, neurologically, this is an escalation behavior. So then ultimately, what happened was he couldn't perform with his partner. He would have to watch porn before being with his partner so that he could get an erection. This is a number one way that you can know that you are experiencing the dopamine drowning in your brain, what I call strained brain. Strained brain makes it so you need to go back for very high levels of dopamine. Strained brain comes from being caught in the porn cycle, and then it can tip to drain brain, which means your brain is drained, it's completely flooded with dopamine. You need very high levels of stimulation. So, that love hate relationship with porn isn't serving you. And I wanted to make this video for another client because he told me this. He said, I have loved porn for so long and I decided to give it up 3 weeks ago. And then he said, I hate porn now. I'm going to hate it because it's going to help me leave porn behind. And I offered him this suggestion. This is your brain hack strategy for the day. Love and hate are not opposite emotions. I know they feel that way, but they are both very powerful emotions. If you love something, that's a lot of powerful, positive energy. If you hate something, that's a lot of negative, powerful energy, but powerful energy all the same. So I want to offer you this. Apathy or indifference is the opposite of love, not hate. Apathy and indifference puts no energy towards that thing. So I want you to become apathetic about porn. I want you to be indifferent about porn. I want you not to care about porn at all. But to be able to do that, you have to be able to unlock your brain from needing the dopamine that it's been getting from porn for a long time. And in doing so, what it will do is it'll heal your brain, and you no longer will see unreality as possible in reality, nor will you want it. You will now engage in a sexual experience feeling more confident about yourself and being more excited about being with your partner, because ultimately having a sexual experience is much better than watching one. So, this is the takeaway. If you have a love hate relationship with porn, it's time to create some indifference. I want you to feel meh about porn. And when you do so, you will heal your brain, you will recover from sexual arousal dysfunction, and you'll get back to having an amazing sex life. Okay, hopefully this has helped. And if you're looking for more help on the journey, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. I have a variety of programs. I have programs that help you leave porn behind. I have programs that help you heal your brain from erectile dysfunction. And until next time, control your brain or it'll control you.